morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name is Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio. So today, I'm going to show you another Pokemon deck, which we wouldn't have been able to play before Sword and Shield came out. Another Stage 2 deck, which shouldn't work, and for a very long time wouldn't work. And yet, because of the cards we're getting in Sword and Shield, all of a sudden it totally works. Now, if you want to keep count, there are 5 different Stage 2 lines in this deck. And I suppose we should start off mentioning that the real hook here, the one we don't usually see, is Nidoqueen. Now, Nidoqueen is the main attacker of this deck. And it is the one that came around in Team Up and looked good and never saw any play. It's got the ability Queen's Call. Once during your turn, you may search your deck for a Pokemon other than a GX or an EX, reveal it and put it into your hand. So certainly once you get the first Nidoqueen going, it will get easier and easier to get subsequent Nidoqueen going. But the attack here for free colourless energy does 10 damage, plus 50 more for each evolution Pokemon on your bench. So if you can get 5 evolution Pokemon on your bench, which clearly needs to be the goal here, you're doing 260 damage for free colourless energy. And we've got ways for the energy, don't worry. It's triple acceleration energy. We'll get there in a minute. The point is, this is a huge amount of damage for not very much investment at all. And this is the hook of the deck. This is the thing that's different and weird, but it's also our main attacker. It's a Pokemon we always thought looked kinda good. We could just never actually use it before. And now we can. And life is good. But we need a whole bunch of other Stage 2s to really make this work. First up, and get used to seeing this, I thought it was a great card. I was hoping it was a great card, and you'll already see from some of the decks that I've been posting, it is a great card. It is the Inteleon from Sword and Shield. When you evolve up into it, you get to search your deck for any 2 trainer cards, put them into your hand. This is how you get one of the ways anyway. You get the deck quite so gosh darned consistent. Although also worth pointing out that the Drizzile here is the Stage 1, and the Drizzile, when you evolve up into it, you get to search your deck for 1 trainer card. Okay, it's not exactly the same, but it ain't far off, ladies and gentlemen. It really ain't far off. Also does have an attack for 1 water, 1 colourless energy that does 120 to the active, and 20 to one of your opponent's bench. And it is worth pointing out at this stage, we can't really leave it any longer, we're obviously playing Super Boost Energy. Super Boost Energy, if you've got 3 Stage 2 Pokemons in play, it's basically 4 of any energy, or any 4 energy. It's a 5th energy you can use with Nidoqueen, and it will work with any of your Stage 2s here. It's about the only thing you can use for most of them, but still, it's there. Now we also have Meganium here, going with a whole first partner Pokemon theme. Meganium, again, you can use 110 4 energy using Super Boost if you're into it, and maybe you'll find a grass weak Pokemon and you'll want to, but even then, with weakness you'll hit 220, Nidoqueen should be hitting 260. But the ability is Quick Ripening Herb. Basically lets you evolve straight from a basic Pokemon into a Stage 2. You can do it the turn you play the basic, you don't have to wait a turn to evolve, and you can do it without rare candy. Now, I mentioned this in a previous video where we talked about Inteleon with Meganium, but I don't think I made it quite clear enough, so let's say it super clearly now. You still need rare candy, because you need it to get Meganium, and you need it for those turns where you don't have Meganium, where you've got to attack with Nidoqueen right now, either to win the game or to avoid losing the game, and you can get a Meganium or a Nidoqueen. Sometimes you will therefore go for the Nidoqueen. Unfortunately, it is very much needed here. And not to be outdone, we've also got Swampert. Again, if we're playing a whole bunch of Stage 2s and we're playing Meganium and all of that, this becomes much easier. And Swampert we love. You can discard a card from your hand, draw 3 cards. It's amazing! Because every turn you're drawing 3 more cards. Remember, Nidoqueen is searching out 1 Pokemon per turn per Nidoqueen. Swampert's drawing cards. Meganium's letting you evolve from a basic up to a stage 2 without even bothering to play rare candy. As a side note, the only stage 1s you're playing in the deck are Drizzile, and that's because Drizzile's got the amazing ability that searches out your trainers. Oh yeah, you've also got Inteleon to search out your trainers. This might be a quintuple stage 2 deck, but it's weirdly consistent because all of your stage 2 lines here are just giving you a huge amount of extra consistency. And it is worth pointing out, this actually does have a really nice attack as well. 80 damage plus 20 more for each water energy. Well, if you put the super boost energy on here, that's 4 water energy, which means you will be doing 160, which is not bad. Still less than Nidoqueen, but might be worth it sometimes. And to be fair, with weakness you'll hit 320, that is then more than Nidoqueen. Something to bear in mind. And then we've got 1 copy here of Rampardos. Rampardos, phenomenal card, seeing more play. If you can afford to take it into a deck like this, you should, and they did. 1 fighting energy, 120 to an evolution, no. Because remember, the only coloured energy we're playing here is super boost, don't waste it. But 3 fighting, 1 super boost. Instant KO on any basic Pokemon. That is any Tag Team GX like Mewtwo and Mew. That is any Pokemon V like, for instance, Zacian V. You get a straight away instant 1-hit KO on any basic Pokemon. This is a phenomenal use for your super boost energy. It is something you should absolutely be playing in a deck like this. It's such a weird Pokemon line, but it works. And the thing is, you could sub in pretty much any other Pokemon you like. But please bear in mind, this is a Nidoqueen deck. The goal here is to be hitting 260 every turn using Nidoqueen. And all your other stage 2s, you have got Rampardos as an attacker, but your Swampert, your Meganium, your Inteleon, these are here to set up. They are here to make sure you've got your Nidoqueen, you've got your special energy, because it's all special energy, more on that in a second, and you've got a bench full of evolutions. Now, speaking of energy, we're playing 4 triple acceleration, 1 super boost. It is all special energy. Good news is we're going to be playing Guzma and Hala here, and that is going to allow us to search them out. Bad news, they're all special energy. They're more easily removed. And remember, triple acceleration energy fall off after your turn. So you've basically got 4 turns of triple acceleration energy plus super boost. Against big tag teams and all of that, you're fine. But it is really worth pointing out that against non-V, non-GX decks, i.e. single prize decks, you have got to get 1 KO per triple acceleration energy and 2 with the super boost to avoid actually running yourself out of energy. You have been warned. Now, in terms of the trainer line here, it's pretty much what we would expect. We've obviously got 4 rare candy because we need to get our stage 2s up in the early game. We've got 4 Pokemon communication because we're playing a boatload of Pokemon. Kind of important, though remember Nidoqueen will help you out in the later game. And then we've got 4 evolution incense, which let you search out your evolution Pokemon. And if you've got a Nidoqueen and a Meganium here, Nidoqueen gets you your basic. Evolution incense searches for your evolution, and then you can evolve it straight away using Meganium. Once this deck gets rolling, you are just peppering stage 2s down onto the field, and it's kind of hilarious. Our gusting of choice here is actually Pokemon Catcher. It gusts anything, but it's on a coin flip. Yeah, it's on a coin flip, but you know what? There's not much you can do about that. Great Catcher will only gust EXs and GXs, and the meta is moving towards a bunch of Pokemon V. Custom Catching, you need to play 2 at a time. You don't have room for 4 gusting cards in this deck. Come on! How much space do you think you've got? Now, Guzma and Hala becomes pretty important because it lets you search out your special energy. Also, Pokemon Tools. For what it's worth, the only Pokemon tool I believe we're playing here is Balloon. Balloon reduces your retreat cost by 2. It's good for getting a bunch of your Pokemon out the active. There we go. You want your Nidoqueen in the active. This gets a bunch of the others out. Yay! and it will search out your stadium, which we're playing Shrine of Punishment here. I know it's a little bit weird, right? We're not playing Great Catcher because we cannot just assume that everyone's playing GXs and then we're playing a stadium that punishes GXs. I'm totally okay with that, because if you're hitting 260, that is 10 damage away from a Reshiram and Charizard. It is 10 damage away from a Garchomp and Giratina. Yeah, we don't want to constantly be 10 damage short of KOs. We're not playing this to always drop damage on everyone's Pokemon. We are playing this because there's a whole bunch of tag teams, most of the relevant ones, that have 270, and we naturally hit 260. We need that extra 10. Pretty gosh darned important. We play Professor Round's lecture here. We have to play Professor Round's lecture here. It gets our basics in the early game. Remember, as the game goes along, you've got Nidoqueen and Evolution Incense to grab your Pokemon, but we still need our basics in the early game. That's where this comes in. And then Marnie and Erica's Hospitality round out the supporters. We see them quite a lot. The point is that this is a weird deck, the kind of deck we don't expect to see, and it's a Pokemon that's been good, in quotation marks, for a long time. It's just never really seen any play or success. But now that we've got item cards that can search out our evolution Pokemon easily, and we've got Inteleon to go and get all of our trainers, all of a sudden this works. Although worth pointing out that without triple acceleration energy, this would not work. It is the kind of overly elaborate deck we might have played back in the Diamond and Pearl era, when we had the ridiculous Pokemon draw cards. And yet it's back now, and this makes me absolutely delighted. And I think we're going to see more and more decks like this as time goes by. But I'd like to know what you think about this deck, what other Pokemon you think might go in here, and all of that good stuff. So let me know in the comment section. Go nuts, be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WazzyPlays, where we talk about fun games with no Pokemon, but we love them anyway. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.